Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Captain Sindhu, Dr. Narayanan, dignitaries and fellow panelists on the dais, and dignitaries of the dais. It is indeed a great opportunity for me to stand in front of you and bring out certain aspects of clean coal technology which is so relevant for our context, and particularly what's happening in the country and in what manner can we possibly extend this thought process of utilizing clean coal technology. Our generation will remain heavily dependent on coal. It is projected that 52% of our total power generation even in 2030-31 will come from coal power stations. And the overall situation will be almost at the current level of 57%. In spite of being the third largest coal producer in the world, we are getting to be dependent on imported coal now. Mainly to meet the requirement of coking coal for metallurgical purposes, both on qualitative and quantitative reasons, as well as for thermal coal to demand supply gap. Recently, as is being projected by the power producers, the coal supplies are falling short of the projected demand. Due to the production capacity constraints of various accounts which are well known, environmental, forest clearances, land acquisition, relocation, rehabilitation, law and order, coal evacuation facilities. So these are some of the constraints which are being put forward for the reason as to why this gap is there, but however it needs to be reduced. Large number of power stations are either ready or in advanced stage of commissioning, but have no firm coal linkage or defined source of coal supply. High international coal price, transport logistics are becoming inconsistent. However, there is one more aspect which has recently come into position is the cancellation of all the allotted captive coal blocks by the Honorable Supreme Court, which has put the coal sector into turmoil. Government is taking action to auction these blocks in a phased manner, and assurances are there that the coal production in the coming days will increase both in public and private sector. And government is also considering allocation of coal blocks for merchant coal mining at a later date. It's quite evident that there is a likelihood of large gap between demand and supply of coal in the country, which will be bridged by imported coal. This is a very large outgo of foreign exchange on account of imported coal of oil and gas, and the country can not afford further burden of coal import bill in the days to come. Whereas all efforts need to be made to increase coal production, it is equally important to reduce coal consumption by improving efficiency of coal combustion, and that is where the importance of induction of clean coal technology gains huge importance. Now I am just taking you to certain scenario of the 12th five-year plan, that is the program. So thermal power capacity that is likely to be inducted in the 12th five-year plan is 63,781 megawatts, of which coal is 62,695, gas is 1,086, hydro 9,204, nuclear 2,800, and total is 75,785. Now, the tentative sector-wise breakdown of the capacity addition during 12th plan is the central and various capacities finally comes to 19,858, state 13,796, private 42,131, and the total again is 75,785. Now, I would like to tell you about the technology mix. We are planning out of this 75,000, 23,940 which will be planned, that is 38% on supercritical. But even then, we are still planning 38,755 megawatts, 62% on still subcritical. Now, this is where the percentage must go up if we really have to improve efficiency as well as also give the importance to conservation of coal. Sources of coal linkage 38,585 megawatts, coal blocks 17,825 megawatts, imported coal 65,292 megawatts, and there are the third category is requiring coal linkage only 30 megawatts. This is the scenario that is emerging, but it needs to be changed as quickly as it is possible. Location of these power plants is Pitted 25,995 megawatt, load centers 25,160 megawatts, and coastal 11,540. Estimated fund requirement during the 12th five-year plan for generation, including renewable, works out to be 6,38,600 crores, including 2,72,582 crores for the advanced section of the 13th plan project period. Now I come to slightly on the theoretical side is that there are three different stages of induction of clean coal technology: pre-combustion stage, combustion stage, and post-combustion stage. Now in pre-combustion stage, basically it is coal beneficiation or coal washing. Coal washing is a technology which is well known. It can be done by dry desheating or wet washing. The washeries are set up in private sector for power coal. Coal India plans to add washery capacity. Now I come to a very important aspect. MOEF had issued stringent notification effective from 1st June 2014 that the thermal power plants located beyond 750 kilometers from the mine should use only coal that has ash less than 34%. Any captive power plant above 100 megawatts or independent power plant located in urban areas or ecologically sensitive areas should also follow the same norm. Government is contemplating to reduce this distance to 500 kilowatts by June 2016. This is the current position of the notification. The first notification that was put by MOEF was in the year 1997, where it was indicated that all power plants beyond 1,000 kilometers will use washed coal less than 34% ash, and this was to be implemented by June 2000. From the current production level of about 500 million tons of non-coking coal, production would be augmented to the level of 1,012 million tons by 2024-25 from CIL and non-CIL command areas. As per old MOEF stipulation, balance 361 million tons of Coal India and non-CIL command area would need to be washed to comply with the old notification that was given in 97. Presently, a total of 110 million ton capacity exists combining public sector and private sector, 19 million tons in Coal India and 91 million tons in private sector. Installation of additional capacity of 256 million tons would be necessary by the year 2025. Again, as per old notification, I have not done calculations with the new notification. It will be substantially high if I take the new notification into account. Further, this gap would be, as I said, would be more if recent notification is taken. Out of 110 million tons installed capacity, only less than 60% capacity of coal washeries in the country is being utilized. This is the current scenario. Out of 104 power plants in the country, 50 power plants are required to use 34% ash coal. 29 power plants are not complying with the notification, and 24 more power plants would be added now as per the new notification. 14 million tons of raw coal of ash percentage higher than 34 from Ib Valley coalfield is going to the power plants in Hisar, Jhajjar, Koradi, TNEB, West Bengal Power Development Corporation. 21 million tons of raw coal from Talcher coalfield is going to Simadri, Vijayawada, TNEB and Raichur power plants. 9 million tons of raw coal is going from Korba coal field, which is being supplied to Korba East, Dhanu, Sanjay Gandhi and Lanco. 18 million tons of raw coal is going from western coal fields being supplied to Nasik, Parli, Bhusawal, Chandrapur, Paras, Sami and Raichur. Now, in such a scenario, Coal India for the last 3 to 4 years is planning to add a washery capacity of 100 million tons. I think only one letter of intent has been issued, the rest are still in the pipeline. So this is how the current scenario is there, this is what the position of the planning is there, and two arms of the government are not taking into account the implementation part, but more stringent and stringent notifications are being issued. So therefore, serious coal washing policy, planning and implementation by the government and in the industry is very much required if we are at all serious about it. But if we are not serious, then nothing need to be done, as has not been done in the past. Now, then combustion stage, coal-fired power generating technologies, supercritical power plants can offer efficiency up to 45%. Then commercialization of these units will prove improvement in the efficiency using Indian coal with high ash content. With development of ultra supercritical plants, which must be now tried in India, the efficiency may reach to the level of 50%. Then of course pulverized combustion is there, fluidized bed, there are a number of such technologies. This is a summary which gives the different benefits of different technologies. Coal washing, it removes impurities, increasing heat value, reduces ash percent by 50% as much as it can be done. Pulverized coal combustion, efficiency improvement is there. Pressurized pulverized combustion, high pressure and high temperature system generated. Again, they are all technologies using various techniques for improvement of efficiency. Fluidized bed combustion with the air forced or otherwise normal gas. And then integrated coal gasification combined cycle, oxy-fuel combustion, carbon capture technologies. They are all the new technologies which are available for us to use. Then, one aspect which I would like before I get on to these technologies is that whereas we have been talking greatly about the coal washing, the chairman also mentioned, I have also dwelt that nearly, if you take a rough estimate, in days to come, 300 to 400 million tons of coal would be washed. Now, there would be generation of rejects. These rejects would be of the order of 80 to 100 million tons. We are not thinking or talking about these rejects. These rejects are also a hazard in themselves. If you keep them lying on the ground for a long time, certain heaps of rejects catch fire. However, technology is available to use these rejects either directly or by further washing or by sweetening with some percentage of raw coal. CEA has agreed that they will provide through Coal India 22%, up to 22% of coal for sweetening certain washery rejects which do not have sufficient heat values to sustain even in the modern technologies. However, an effort has been made and country is now using washery rejects to produce power. Our own company ACB India Limited has a power generating capacity of the order of about 400 megawatts, which is totally based on washery rejects. And in the private washeries that our company has, We have also added certain additional steam entirely for our own use by upgrading the rejects. So this is one aspect which also need to be looked at. It needs to be planned that in case we do wash this huge quantity of coal, we must plan to use these rejects also. So this is one aspect which I would like to bring to the notice of this August gathering, and we would also put the same into the recommendations of this conference. Then coal bed methane is also one clean coal technology emerging out of coal. 26 blocks were given. We had very, very lofty ideas about when the coal bed methane development was introduced in the country, but some or the other, the results have not been that encouraging. In spite of 26 blocks, which is given to very important organizations, 9 blocks are with ONGC, 6 blocks are with Reliance. Up till now, only about 500,000 cubic meter per day production is there, whereas per program, this was supposed to be over 30 million cubic meters of gas per day. But I do hope that in days to come, this will pick up. We have methane, but for reasons, I think the one important reason for this development is not taking place is that in isolated areas where this coal bed methane is produced, the end use is very difficult unless you have a captive end use plant already installed. There is no distribution system, only one company in south of Raniganj is producing, and it is bottling this coal bed methane under pressure and distributing it right up to Calcutta. But that is a small effort. It needs to be enlarged on a national scale. Coal gasification now is again picking up in the country. At one time, particularly in fertilizers, coal-fired plants were considered viable, and for whatever be the reasons got closed. However, with gas price going as much as about $12 per million BTU, again these scales are tipping in favor of coal gasification. And now serious thought is being given. One coal bed methane plant which is in north of Raniganj of SR, they are putting a captive power plant next to this facility. So this concentration is also coming up. Underground coal gasification, we are making very serious efforts, but I am sorry to say not much headway is being made. I do hope that in future there has been a consortium of Coal India and ONGC who have come together, and they are very seriously looking at, including Neyveli Lignite also getting involved. Coal liquefaction or coal to liquid CTL is something which is being discussed. 2 blocks were given, but nothing much happened on that direction. But I think with such a heavy import, it is a serious aspect that must be looked up by our country, as if we are to reduce the bill. So post-combustion, there are some technologies, IGCC, oxy-fuel combustion, and I will not talk about the carbon sequestration because my earlier speaker gave you a big thing on the very big overview of the carbon sequestration. Not much is being done in our country because it's a very costly thing, and let the developed countries try it, and then maybe we will follow suit. Then there are some strategy for low carbon growth, promote hydro, promote renewable energy, promote new gas-based power project with a mix of indigenous gas and imported LNG, regulation on construction of new power plants with mandatory minimum efficiency level, retirement of old and inefficient units, implementation of national enhanced efficiency renovation and modernization program, adoption of clean coal technologies. Target 12th 5-year plan, at least 50% of the coal-based capacity installation should be on supercritical technology. The target was 50%, we are planning 38%. 13th plan, all coal-based capacity should be supercritical, reduction of T&D losses to to be accorded very high priority. Further push to energy efficiency program in the consumer, electrical appliances, high-rise buildings, agricultural pump sets, etc. Emission intensity from power sector could be nearly 30% less by the year 2020 compared to 2005. So thank you, gentlemen. Thank you very much.